if I put pressure on him,
Ugh,
that's going to go the other way,
it's awful.
right? Like if I
Sage
really,
advice. Yes. Normally, women, when their guy's having a problem, so let's just call them like mainstream women, a lot of insecurity comes up in them. But because you are a sexual healer, I'm curious if any powerlessness, frustration, or insecurity came up for you.
well, I guess I had an advantage that there was a reason for it. It wasn't like all of a sudden his cock didn't work anymore. And then I could say, is this has to do with me and attraction and all of the things that women like to go or go naturally into. What's wrong with me that you can't have this erection? But we knew that this was really like a physical, actual something got rattled there,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a waiting process.
We
It
didn't really know that though at the time because I didn't know if it would ever come back.
Yeah, it again, we got already creative, and yet yeah, it's an important piece. And also knowing if I put pressure on him,
Ugh,
that's going to go the other way,
it's awful.
right? Like if I
Sage
really,
advice. Yes.
and if I so it's very tricky to have your anger, frustration, and all of the different things, but to not bring it to your partner. So in that case, I had to go to my friends to talk about this, and not directly to him, because I already knew that he wanted to, and he has all the tips and tricks, and that's something too that we learned. Before it was so casual. Well, if your does not work, you have 10 fingers, but it is not the same. Today we're very,
No.
how can we include the while it's right now in a state of recovery? Does that
Yeah.
make sense? In that while this also can bridge things,
Yeah.
they were frustrating times, and I couldn't talk to my best friend and partner because I didn't want to load more on him.
Well, and also what ended up happening is she stopped reaching out to me. So she
Yeah,
was kind of leaving it in my court, but I was also waiting for her to come to me, and that just didn't work.
yeah.
Like, and I would get frustrated that she didn't reach out to me, and then she would share, I don't want to be disappointed.
Well, that,
And
and
it
I
was
didn't
like,
want to point to
yeah,
it
point to
like so.
pressure.
So usually we're so open in touch, like regular touch, sexual touch, and it was like, do I like? There's so many mornings or at times where I just reach over and hold his cock, and I didn't even want to go there, not bring his attention there. So and at the same time he kind of wanted it. So there comes this insecurity of how can we play with it and still be with this part, um his most favorite part, maybe my most favorite part too.
No, just my
um
chest.
yeah, well, but how can we be with that, and what in what dose, right? And like how can we include the cock while it's right now in a state of recovery? Does
Yeah.
that make sense?
Without knowing the root causes of erectile dysfunction, you might as well just go ahead and throw your pills in the garbage. Contact me for your free video consult. No, it does. Like what I'm taking out of this that I want to reflect to the audience is that this is such a tricky thing to navigate. And here you have a couple with a daily active sexual practice, went through a wonky ED period, put them in the unknown. Is this ever going to work again? What are we doing? So if anyone's equipped to handle this, it is you too. In terms
Yeah.
of all the resources you have, the education, the empowerment around sexuality. And still, it sounds like you had to learn how to navigate this as a couple and where to focus and where to put pressure, when to hold space, when to step away. And so I think that, the audience watching this particular segment and just know that I think everyone's doing their best right? Like in the mainstream with people that don't have these tools, and women will typically go to their own insecurity around this. And I think just hearing you say, Heike, well, I had to step back and I had to talk to friends about it. I think that's really valuable to hear. So any guy who's watching this segment can hopefully even play this segment for his partner
Yeah,
as
yeah.
well. Yeah.
Because if we can somehow hold our patience and our trust, like it's just gonna go, the process is gonna be faster.
If you have a partner who is motivated to deal with this head on.
And that is very true too, because he was going everywhere, like,
Yeah.
from Mensa to like inner work, outer work, like on our colleagues' tables. And I would too give sessions, but it was again, and most of the times we do this, there's a strict, here's us as lovers, and here's our professional side. So
Mm-hmm.
to really say, let me today work on you and work all of this and move it like all through the body and get the energy just really back into movement. And the moment there was more life back in it,
Yeah.
this is when I really got to work, right?
Well, and I remember there were many sessions she gave me where I would get in my head and I would want to start getting at least semi-hard or something, and she just kept telling me it's okay. Like,
Yeah.
can this feel good with a soft right now?
Yeah.
And when I was able to surrender into that and drop the pressure, I'm like, wow, that actually does feel good, and I'm missing that.
Yeah. Pleasure,
Yeah.
not pressure.
Yeah, and it may not be what I ultimately wanted, but I was really happy to get it at the time. And like those baby steps of just surrendering to what is allowed
Mm-hmm.
allowed more spaciousness without the pressure, because the pressure was the biggest thing for me. Even when I
For
started
every
getting
man.
when I started getting better, I would have an erection for like, I'd get hard and then we'd go to have intercourse and I would lose it in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And that went on for months.
And then you try to come really fast.
And then I
so
would try to
that-
come in like 30 seconds, which isn't me. I like to go, half an hour to an hour. But then it was like, okay, I got this opportunity, then I got to go, and it's bang, bang, bang. And then obviously she's not satisfied at all. And I felt like I
Yeah.
just almost used her. But so it was
I
this.
like being used.
No, you do. Not for 30 seconds. There was this, yeah, very, very much a dance. And I can only fathom people that don't have the tools, that don't have the experience, and the frustrations get in the way, and the fighting that happens, and because everybody just feels crappy.
Yeah, there was a lot of fumbling going on.
Yeah. So like you said, for those who's listening and watching this, to have a lot of patience, take as much pressure off as you possibly can, and have
Somewhere else.
patience. Hey you, hey guy, who's learning about sexual health, mixed in with some tantra, mixed in with some 5 elements of Chinese medicine and some Western medicine. I want to let you know something. I would love it if you would hit my subscribe button and the notification bell. That way, you're going to know when new content is posted every Friday.